Hello. In this 1.21.1 KubeJS NeoForge video, we're going to be going over how to add attributes to armor pieces. If you find these types of videos informative, please give the video a like, comment with any questions or future video ideas, and subscribe to the channel to never miss a future upload. In addition, this video and others in my series are brought to you by BisectHosting. I'll be giving more information about their services later in the video. But for now, let's get started. So we do this in a startup script. So as you can see here, I create a new file here called armor_modification.js. Obviously, this is a JavaScript file. It's in my startup scripts folder under KubeJS. But now, let's get started with the actual code. So we do this with item events.modification. And then inside here, we pass in our event. And then we're going to first modify a leather helmet. And if you're wearing it, it will give you a movement speed increase. So we do this with event.modify. And then we're going to pass in the ID of the item. So in this case, Minecraft leather helmet. And then we're going to do item, and then another callback. The first thing we're going to do here is we're going to set a custom durability. So we do that with item.setMaxDamage, and then inside here we pass in an integer. So for example, 75. In this case, it would take 75 hits, in quotes, before the item actually breaks. Obviously, this overrides the vanilla value. Next thing we're going to do here is to actually add an attribute, we need to define and combine attribute modifiers. So we're going to do that with let, and then we're going to call this variable modified attribute modifier, and we're going to make that equal to item.of, and then inside here we're going to do item, and obviously referring to this in the callback, item the method, and then we're going to chain on .id, and then we're going to do attribute modifiers. So at this point, we can chain on a method here or a function. So the relevant function that I actually chain on is .with modifier added, and then this takes in a couple of arguments. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the I'm going to add the generic .armor, which is just the base Minecraft attribute for damage reduction. So first argument here is going to be generic .armor, and then the second argument here is going to be basically the ID in operation. So we do that with curly braces. The first sub parameter or sub argument here is amount. So I'm going to define that as 1. Next is the ID, and I'm going to define that as Minecraft armor helmet, since we're talking about helmet here. And then the final argument is the operation. And I'm going to use add value for this. So what add value means is it just adds the amount value directly to the base attribute. And then the final argument here is the equipment slot. So obviously this is going to be head. And we can also chain on another modifier here. So here we're going to do the generic dot movement speed. So because we want the player to be able to walk faster when they're wearing the helmet. So we can just chain the method on again with modifier added. And here we're going to do generic dot movement speed. And then we're going to do a similar argument here. So we're going to define amount in this case to be 0.05. And then we're going to give it a unique ID. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste that in there. And then the operation, we're going to do add value again. And again, the equipment slot, since it's a helmet, it's going to be head. So now that we defined the modified attribute, we're going to apply it. So we're going to do item.set attribute modifier width tooltip, so you can actually see it when you're hovering over the item. And then we're going to pass in modified attribute modifier dot modifiers. So now that we have this first example done, before we continue, I would like to give a shout out to my server hosting partner, BisectHosting. This is a great, fantastic Minecraft server hosting service, as well as over 80 other top online games. In regards to Minecraft, you can pre-install over 2,000 mod packs automatically. In addition, they offer 24/7, 365 customer support that can help troubleshoot your server and mods. They give you full file access, and you can host your server across 20 locations around the world to give you an acceptable latency. And in addition, they offer advanced DDoS protection. If this is of interest to you, I will have my affiliate link in the description below. So please check that out. It'll bring you to this website that I got the screenshot from that has plenty of great information that can help inform a possible purchase. So again, thank you to BisectHosting for supporting my channel. But now let's continue with a few more examples here. So let's say our second example here is I want to if you're wearing an iron helmet, you get knockback resistance. So we're going to use the generic dot knockback resistance attribute. So I'm going to copy and paste this just for brevity. So obviously instead of leather helmet, I'm going to make it an iron helmet. For max damage, let's do 200. And then for the modified attribute modifier, we're going to keep this on line. We're going to keep line 15 the way it is. And we're going to keep this the way it is instead, with the exception of let's make this 2. And then with our second modifier here, instead of movement speed, we want to do knockback resistance. So we're going to do knockback resistance. We're going to keep the same amount. I'm going to copy and paste a new ID, a new unique ID, and then we're going to keep the add value and obviously the head equipment slot. And obviously we're going to keep line 22 the same. Another example could be luck. So we're going to use a diamond helmet for that. So diamond helmet. Let's make a diamond helmet have a max damage of 400. We're going to keep line 26 the same. We're going to keep generic.armor the same, with the exception we're going to change that to 3. And then since diamond has armor toughness, we're going to add armor toughness to the attribute list here. So generic dot armor toughness. and then we're going to keep these the same other than Minecraft armor toughness dot helmet, and then we're going to make this 2. But obviously instead of knockback resistance here, we're going to do generic dot luck, and we're going to change the ID, and then we're going to keep add value and the head. And again, you apply you actually apply the modifier you defined in a manner like line 36. Our final example, let's do max health. So I'm just going to copy and paste this again. We're going to do netherite helmet, gives you max health. For max damage, let's say, let's do 650. And then for modified attribute modifier, we're going to keep this all the same other than we're going to change that to 3. But for max health, it's defined as generic.max health. And let's change this to 2. Because 2 means 2 health points, otherwise known as 1 heart, because you take damage in increments of half of hearts. Let's put a new unique ID here, and then we're going to keep that as well. So I hope these 4 examples kind of got the point across. If you have any questions regarding this topic, please let me know in the comments. If you find this video informative, please give it a like, comment with any new video ideas. I'd be happy to help, and subscribe to the channel to never miss new content like this. Otherwise, appreciate your time watching this video, and have a great day.